Will Eisen's a very strange young man. Okay.
It's not there. It's not
I always talk right there. Such an idiot. Okay. Guys, start with chapter 5, a little geometry. Okay, just to refresh your memory, you guys know probably a lot of these words, but let's get them written down. Your job is to study them so that on a test, if you had like a matching section, you could match up the definition with the word. Okay? Everybody put your arms parallelly.
Parallel.
That is not parallel. That's perpendicular. Okay? Arms parallelly. Put an angle on them. Don't put them straight up and down. Okay? Okay? We're going to call lines that are parallel are as lines that never intersect. Period. Okay? Try to put your arms perpendicularly. Jim, are you okay? You're just talking randomly about stuff? What's going on?
Yeah, I was just confused because like I had a wrestling tournament and it said it was on the 18th, but it was really on the 17th. I thought that today was the 21st, but it's not.
It's the most random thing I've ever heard in my life. So did you have a wrestling tournament this weekend?
Yeah, it was in spring.
How'd you do?
I took first.
You got first?
Yeah.
Congratulations. What weight class? Everybody round of applause to JD. What weight class, JD? JD?
6.
Nice. That's exciting. Okay, back to parallel and perpendicular lines. Put your arms perpendicularly. Okay? What kind of angles are formed when two lines are perpendicular to each other? What kind of angles, guys? Right angles. How many degrees are right angles? 90. Okay. Perpendicular, say two lines.
Can we draw a picture? Isn't there a symbol you write on the lines that show
Perpendicular to
They use those terms in the text.
All right, yeah, let's write those down. Okay. Guys, back to parallel. Okay? There's a symbol for parallel, and they usually use little letters, small letters for lines. Like, we'll say like line A is parallel to line B. And the parallel symbol is just those two up and down lines that kind of appear to be parallel. You'll see that in your homework.
But Mr. Quincy, they also show when on the lines, the arrows.
The arrows?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also in the book.
So, draw off to the side, draw two lines that appear to be parallel. You don't have to use a straight edge, you don't have to be perfect. And then they do the arrows.
Yes, yes.
Okay. To show parallel, here's one thing that they'll do. I'm doing a different color. They'll put arrows right in the middle of the line. And that those green arrows mean that those two lines are parallel. Did they show them this one too, Ms.
Yeah,
McCall?
they
Do you know?
did show that.
Good. So, show two different ways there to show parallel. Okay, perpendicular. Two lines that form four right angles. Okay, and then the perpendicular symbol, guys, is usually an upside down T.
And the right.
Right. Or they put the little corner box in there. Okay, those are the two ways to show perpendicular. Okay, now let's talk about some different kinds of angles. Who knows what complementary angles are? You guys know, we did this last year. Remember what complementary angles are? Tully?
Complementary angles, don't they measure at like 90 degrees?
Yeah, two angles. Okay. And then, guys, here's the abbreviation for the word angle to help you guys shorten up your notes. It's like an L that got squished a little bit. That's it. It's like an angle symbol with an S at the end of it. That's how I abbreviate angles. So two angles that add up to 90 degrees.
Some people remember complementary as C for corner. It makes a corner.
Yep. What are supplementary angles? Come on, guys, catch on to the pattern. We'll say more technical than that. How about two angles? Two angles that add up to 180 degrees. And what's the trick, Ms. McCall, with the supplementary?
What do you think S stands for? Straight line.
Straight. Okay? So, straight and corner for complementary and supplementary. That's one trick. I always use the C comes before S in the alphabet, and 90 comes before 180. That's what I always use. Complementary, supplementary, 90, 180. And remember, guys, there are two angles that add up to either 90 or 180. Everybody make up a pair of complementary angles and just jot them down on your notes somewhere. Give me two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Make them up off the top of your head. 45 and 45. Very good. Who's got another pair?
40 and 50.
40 and 50. Who's got another pair?
89 and 30.
89 and 1. Very good. There's always one kid who goes 95 and negative 5. You can't use negative numbers. Angles. Right. So, somebody give me a pair of supplementary angles and write them down. Make them up. 90 and 90. 150 and 30. 179 and 1. Okay, how long can we do this for, people?
185 and negative 5.
Can't do that. Can't have a negative value. Nice try, Chuck. Yeah, you can't do 180 and 0 because a 0 degree angle is not an angle. All right. Vertical angles are very important. We're going to deal a lot with vertical angles, and that's a pair. How many make up a pair? 2 of a pair of angles formed by 2 intersecting lines. A pair of angles formed by 2 intersecting lines. They are opposite of each other. Period. And I wish we had more space. We don't, but we're going to attempt to draw them here. Okay. What I want you guys to do on the side over here is just draw 2 lines that intersect. They don't have to be perpendicular to each other. Just draw 2 intersecting lines. Okay? How many angles do you guys see there? Everybody see 4 angles? Okay? Put them in blue. Those 2 are the 2 I just marked with a little curve are vertical angles. They're opposite of each other. Do the next set in red. Those 2 angles are vertical angles. They're opposite of each other. What do you think's true about vertical angles? They're vertical. Thanks, Einstein. Guys,
Angles.
besides that they're across, what about the measure of them? They're the same, but what's the geometric word for angles being the same measure? There's a word you guys need to know. Besides the same, equal. Come on, somebody knows it. C. Good question.
What's the second letter?
O.
Complementary. Congruent.
Good guess. You got it, Cheech. What is it?
I said first.
Scotty, what is it? Congruent. Write that word down. We're going to use that word a lot. Vertical angles are congruent. And do you guys know the congruent symbol? I think you guys know it. Okay? It's an equal sign with a squiggly on it. A tilde, whatever you want to call it. An equal sign with a squiggly on it. Okay? That's the congruent symbol. All right, straight angles. Okay? Straight angles are, let's do a different color here. A straight angle is an angle that measures how many degrees? 180. Okay? Believe it or not, kids don't get this, and I don't think I would have gotten it either. Draw a straight line, guys. That is, believe it or not, that's an angle as well. It's a 180-degree angle. Okay? 180-degree angle. So that's a straight angle. It's just a straight line. Right? How about a right angle?
Oh, it's like 90 degrees, right?
Angle that measures
90 degrees.
90 degrees. You guys all know the right angle. Maybe draw a picture of that. Try to do your best to draw, and put the corner thing in there to show that it's 90 degrees. There's a right angle. It's got the corner in there to show 90 degrees. All right, let's pick up the pace here a little bit. Okay, triangles. Okay, hopefully you guys all know that it has 3 sides. Okay, what do the 3 angles in a triangle always add up to as far as the degrees? Yeah, 180. Believe it or not, they always add up to 180. Let's use red here. 3 angles always add up to 180 degrees. Every triangle in the world, guys. All right. Scaling, no equal sides. So we have a scaling triangle. All 3 sides are different lengths. Equilateral, all equal sides. And you can put parentheses, guys, and equal angles. That's equilateral. And then isosceles has 2 equal sides. And believe it or not, it has 2 equal angles as well. All right. So, triangles, we got 300 and... Oh, I did that wrong. No, it does add up to 180. I was thinking it equals 360. That's a quadrilateral. All right. Guys, what does the prefix quad mean? 4. Quadrilaterals.
7.
Quadrilaterals have 4 sides. You're going to name all 5 and what makes them unique. What specific characters. Because there's 5 different types of quadrilaterals you guys need to be familiar with.
Because you said there's 4 sides.
4 sides, but 5 types of quadrilaterals. Okay? The most basic one is a square. Okay? What makes something a square?
All sides.
All sides are the same. What else?
90 degrees.
So what does it mean about all the angles?
They're all
Yeah. All sides and angles are congruent. And in your notes, guys, you can abbreviate the congruent word with the symbol. As long as you know what that symbol means. All sides and angles are congruent. What do you think the next quadrilateral is after a square? Triangle only has 3 sides. Rectangle. What makes something a rectangle? How do you know it's a rectangle? So opposite, bless you. Opposite sides are congruent. Okay, let's say that. Opposite sides okay, opposite sides are congruent. All right angles. Okay. What's another type of quadrilateral that has a specific name that you guys know? Trapezoid. Okay. Trapezoid has 1 pair. Just one. 1 pair of parallel sides. Okay? Maybe try to draw one. There's 1 set of parallel sides, and I showed it with the arrows. pair of parallel sides. The other pair of sides are not parallel. Okay. You guys know any other quadrilaterals? Square, rectangle, trapezoid? I think it's rhombus. Rhombus is one of them.
I think you said that.
I was thinking of I wonder if this is one, a parallelogram. That's what I was thinking of. But they don't have that one on here. Parallelogram, and we'll use a rhombus. You guys know what a rhombus is?
It's a rhombus.
It's a diamond, right. What do you think is true about it, though? Are all the angles congruent in a rhombus? How about all the sides?
Yeah.
Right, that's the one. 4 congruent sides. I think of a rhombus as a square that got squished. Somebody grabbed the corners of the square and squished it to make the angles not 90 degrees anymore, but all the sides are still the same. Okay? Watch this. Try to draw 4 sides, no right angles, but make sure all the sides are the same, appear to be the same length. Ooh, what could you put on that figure to show that the sides are all congruent to each other? What are they called? Well, not arrows, that'd be the parallel thing, but it's hash marks. Okay? The little hash marks show that things are the same length. Okay? And then one other one. What's another quadrilateral you guys probably know? A what? Did you say triangle? You guys like to fly it in the fall. Kite. Okay? Let's talk about what a kite is. I guess I didn't even know this one. This one has adjacent, A-D-J-A-C-E-N-T. Awesome word. What's the word adjacent mean? Next to, not opposite. Next to. Miss Sitchy's room is adjacent to ours. Mr. Lawson's room is adjacent to this room. Mr. Taglia's room is not adjacent. Okay? So adjacent just means next to. Adjacent sides are congruent. So let me draw. I'll show you. And it's going to look like a kite, guys, when we draw it. It's pretty cool. Okay? A rhombus, but 2 of the sides are different than 2 of them. So watch. We do it in a different color. Okay? Adjacent sides are congruent. So I'm going to say, even though my picture is really, really bad, okay, don't judge. Okay? That's congruent to that. And then, boom, boom. That's congruent to that. So adjacent sides are congruent. They're next to, not across from each other, next to each other are congruent. There's a kite. It looks like a kite to me.
So does the rhombus.
But that has all 4 of them being congruent.
It still looks like a kite.
Right. It still looks like a kite. Agreed.
Kite.
So, just things you got to be aware of. All right. All right, polygons. Guys, what's the prefix poly mean? You know that prefix? Quarter?
No, 5.
No.
7.
Good guess.
12.
5 is pentagon.
Is it 12?
But what does just the word poly mean?
8.
You guys know that one?
No.
No.
2. 1.
No. It doesn't have any. It doesn't mean any number.
0.
Let's recall what the prefix poly means. Many. That's what I think it is. Poly. So a polygon is a many-sided figure. So it's not specific. Okay. We're going to start with 5 and then go all the way up to 12. Okay. Yep. Pentagon. 5 sides. Okay. What's the 6-sided shape called? Which one is it? Is it a hexagon? It is a hexagon. Notice that word gon is at the end of these words. That's your. That's basically the word for shape. So penta means 5, 5-sided shape. Hexa 6. Okay. 7's a tricky one.
Pentagon.
I think there's several names for it. We're going to use hepta.
Oh, heptagon.
Heptagon. 7 sides.
Octagon.
Yeah, you guys all know 8 probably, right?
Yeah, octagon.
Octagon, like an octopus has 8 arms, an octagon has 8 sides.
That is 9.
Octagon. Okay, 8 sides. What's the 9-sided shape called? Okay, close. It's actually a nonagon.
I was close.
I think we made that word up for you people, but it sounds good to me. 9 sides.
I just
Okay.
said that.
Don't blurt it out if you know it. What's a 10-sided figure called? No, don't blurt it out. It's not a tenagon. You know it. What do you kids call it? Decagon, like a decade. Okay? There's 10 years in a decade, so a decagon is a 10 sides. Has 10 sides. Okay? I did not even know the 11-sided one. It's called a, again, I think we're making this up, Hendecagon. I can't even say that word. Hendecagon. I've never even heard that word in my life. Okay, let me say the word. Hendecagon. Hendecagon. There you go. I looked on phonics. A hen. Okay. Decagon. So it must be something with hen being a +1 to the decagon. 12-sided one. I knew this one was a dodecagon. Again, do must be 2. Okay? So you're going to do 2 plus a decagon, which is our 12-sided. All right. Study those. You might have to match those up on a test or quiz. I'll let you know where we're going with this stuff. So, Pentagon, I think you guys know that. There's that famous building, Washington, the decagon, the Pentagon. It's got 5 sides. If you look at it from above, it's got 5 sides. A hexagon's got 6. Is that what a stop sign is?
No, Tracegon.
What's a stop sign?
Stop sign octagon?
Yeah.
Okay. Home plate. I know if you play baseball or softball, home plate is a pentagon.
Would 100 sides be a centragon?
Something like that. Okay. All right. What's the difference between a regular? Oh, you guys, hey, you all need to know what a regular polygon is compared to one that's irregular. Okay. Got this down. Regular polygon. Very important. All sides and angles are congruent. All sides congruent and all angles are congruent. Use that congruent symbol, people, in your notes. You'll become more familiar with it. Okay? What's one regular polygon that we've already listed on these notes? There's a couple of them, actually. Pentagon is not a regular polygon. Good try, though. It's on the first side.
Square.
Square. Guys, a square is a regular polygon because all sides are congruent and all angles are congruent. A rectangle is not regular because all the sides aren't the same length. Okay? So, square, and then I think go write this one down too, is an equilateral. An equilateral triangle is a regular polygon because all the angles and all the sides are congruent to each other. All right, rolling, people. I know it's a lot of notes. I apologize. All right, next we're going to go into a little bit about circles. Everybody put your little pencils up in front of your face. Okay? Draw a circle in the air. Okay. How many degrees are in a circle? 360. Okay? So the degree in a circle, Every circle has 360 degrees. Okay? Now to show this other stuff, let's just draw a little picture. Guys, do your best to draw a circle. They're not. It's not easy to draw a good one. Okay? Hey, draw a diameter in your circle. Diameter is all the way across from one side to the other, and it has to go through the center. Okay? Draw a radius. Start in the center. So a diameter is all the way across, a radius is only halfway across. Okay? And then the circumference is the distance around. Okay? And as circles get bigger, their circumference gets bigger, their diameter gets bigger, and the radius gets bigger. Now, this is not on here, but you guys are a special group, so I'm going to show you this. Draw a line. Right. Okay? It does not go through the center, and that thing's called a chord. Okay? Chords, in the same circle, chords could be of different lengths. Because depending on where you draw it at, you could have a really short chord, or you could have almost a chord that's almost the same size as the diameter. Okay? All right. Now, what three things have we talked about already today in our notes that equal 180 degrees? I came up with three of them. One, a triangle.
Supplementary angle.
Very good. Two, supplementary. Supplementary angles. There was a third thing that makes 180. Not a circle, straight line. You guys are good.
I told him
A straight line is an angle actually that makes 180 degrees. Okay? So those are the three things I found. What three items listed in these notes so far equal 180 degrees? A triangle. They had three angles of a triangle add up to $1.80. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to $1.80. And then a straight line is one angle that makes 180. What two things have we talked about that add up to 360 degrees? One's a circle. What's the other one?
polygon.
Not a polygon, because those other a very specific polygon adds up to 360. Okay? All quadrilaterals. All four-sided shapes add up to 360 degrees. That is not done. Guys, that's on page 1.
What?
Stapler is not working.
You're not listening at the beginning, everyone.
Really?
Hey, he's organized.
You got me thinking that we were done. I was like, woohoo! And then you're like, I feel like listening to this. What? Oh, what's next? They're gonna be. We're gonna come out and do something like it. You guys like ultrasound.
All right, stretch a little bit. Here's for a break. All right, other terminology. Ms. McCall's giving some staplers, guys. If you want to staple your two sheets together. About this copier, the stapler's out of the copier.
Guys, pass it down here.
Stretch.
This is what you're truly going to need for the homework
Yeah,
tonight.
this is what your homework is. Other stuff is just
Background knowledge.
review and background stuff. Okay. All right, I'm going to draw this shape first. Your job is to draw this shape very similar to the way I draw it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it better be close. Let me do it first. Okay? What you're going to do is draw. Not small, but make it pretty good size. Two parallel lines angling up and to the right. two parallel lines angling up to the right. Let's label those lines M and N. Okay, they usually label lines with lowercase letters. And I'm going to write M is parallel to N. That tells you that those lines are parallel. Okay? Draw a third line intersecting both lines right in the middle. Watch this. And who'd like to name that line? Go ahead, Julie. Q. Very good. Label that line Q. Okay? Now, Q has got a name. Besides letter Q. Okay? Got this down. Q is called a transversal. Okay? I don't think that's in the notes. Again, I'm just telling you that because I know that it's called a transversal. When you guys are sophomores, you take geometry. You are going to hear the phrase, two parallel lines cut by a transversal, like 1,000 times. Okay? So this is a situation of two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Again, you'll see this in your homework. Look carefully at that. Raise your hand. Don't blurt it out, please. How many total angles are formed when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal? Raise your hand if you can guess that answer. How many angles do you see? The friends up. 8. There's 8 angles there. Don't name them this way. Don't just start randomly naming them. Here we go. 1, and then go around the horn. 2. No, not around. Go 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 8 angles, guys, when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Okay, this is what you're going to see for your homework. You're not going to have to draw this. You're going to see this. I just want you guys to draw one time to see what you're dealing with. All right. Some of the lines are alternate into. Some of the angles are alternate interior angles. Some of them are alternate exterior angles, and some of them are corresponding angles. Okay. Everybody throw the little angle symbol after each of those terms because that should be there. Alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and corresponding angles. All right, here we go. Everybody put your arms up like the two parallel lines. Which angles do you think are interior? Think about what the word interior means. Right, guys, look at them. The interior angles are 3, 4, 5, and 6 because what does the word interior mean? Inside. Okay? Put your arms up like the parallel lines. Guess which angles are exterior angles?
1, 2, 7, 8.
Yeah, they're out. Exterior means outside. Okay? We'll get to the corresponding ones in a minute. So, the ALT, guys, stands for the word alternate. All right? Now, I always ask kids, what does alternate mean? And in their minds, they always think alternate means like a substitute. Like if an alternate would be like, well, if you can't make the tournament, then there's another kid that'll step in for you. He's the alternate. Okay? But for our purposes, alternate means kind of on opposite sides of the transversal. So, jot this down. Angle 3. Okay? The alternate interior angle of angle 3 is angle 6. Okay? And they are congruent. So jot that down. Angle 3 and angle 6. Okay? We're going to write down that they're alternate interior angles. What's another pair of alternate interior angles? Yeah, angles 4 and 5. And what do you think is true about angles 4 and 5? They're congruent. Okay? Those are alternate interior angles. You need to know that. Somebody want to guess of what a pair of alternate exterior angles are? Which angles are alternate exterior?
1, 2, 7, 8.
2 and 7 or?
1, 2, 8.
Right, let's do that. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 8, and then angle 2 is congruent to angle 7, and those are alternate exterior angles. And then the corresponding ones, I'll show you guys what those are. Corresponding. Okay? There's actually 4 sets of those, not just 2. Okay, here's how you do corresponding angles. Everybody take your hands like a pair of scissors right now.
Okay.
Take your hands like a pair of scissors. Everybody look on your paper, and cut the transversal right in the middle. Not the parallel lines, the transversal. Everybody cut the transversal.
Okay.
Okay? Grab the top set of angles and set them on top of the bottom set. Which angles are on top of each other?
2, 6, 1, and 5, 3, 7, 4, and 8.
Those are corresponding angles. They correspond to the same spot from one parallel line to the other. And the best way to do it, guys, is take a pair of scissors, cut the transversal, grab the 4 angles that are up top, slap them on top of the other ones, and then corresponding angles are angle 1 is congruent to angle 5 because 1 would be on top of 5. Does everybody agree with that? Okay? And they're congruent. So whatever the measure of angle 1 is, angle 5 is the same measure. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 6 because they're corresponding. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. And angle 4 is congruent to angle 8 because they're all so there's 4 sets of corresponding angles. You guys are going to do a lot with this sophomore year. Like, a lot. I know that for a fact. All right, again, just some terminology. Now let's do what you guys are going to do in your homework. All right, in the figure, line M is parallel to line N. They're going to tell you that. They got 2 transversals here. Oh, geez. We can do this. Line Q is perpendicular. Oh, there we go. They're perpendicular, so they did tell us that. So, P and Q, because I wrote something down. P and Q are perpendicular. What that means is everybody go to where P and Q intersect and put a nifty little right angle in there. Watch. P and Q. That is a right angle.
Oh my god.
Okay? You turn your head, you kind of see it. All right. The measure of angle 1 is 40 degrees. So, on the figure, everybody put 40 degrees in angle 1. Okay? From there, we can figure out the measure of all the other angles. They need us to figure out the measure of angle 7. That's what they're asking for. Okay? Now, see if you guys can figure this out. What kind of angle is angle 1? Interior or exterior? Exterior. And we know that alternate exterior angles are congruent. A lot of words. What's the alternate exterior angle of angle 1? No, what number? It is 40 degrees. What angle is alternate exterior with angle 1? I haven't even heard it yet. 9 would be vertical.
7, 6, 8,
Wait,
10.
I've heard it now. Look, it's angle 6. Okay? Which means angle 6 is 40 degrees. Okay?
You went right to the alternate exterior. I went to the corresponding. But I feel like the corresponding would be easier.
Which one corresponds with 1?
You know which one?
Hey, which one corresponds with angle 1? That's a good point. What you guys want to do, guys, right now is forget about line Q. Forget about it if you can. Cut the transversal of P. Take these 4 angles and set them on top. Which angle would be underneath angle 1?
3.
3.
I mean, that's where my eye went to first.
Right, I go to alternate exterior.
Okay. But we
But
know
guys-
that both are, of course, are congruent.
Why?
Because of
Because
the
I
angle
said so.
relations between the parallel and transversal, we know that.
Or, well, yeah, because we know corresponding angles, but they're also, guys, they're vertical angles. Look at that. 6 and 3 are vertical of each other. All right? Now, let's go. Line N is a straight line. So it makes how many total degrees? 180. That's 40. We know that 8 is a right angle, so we know that 8 is 90 degrees. We can now figure out the measure of angle 7 by doing 180 minus 90 minus 40. Because all three of them, 3, 8, and 7, got to add up to 180 degrees because they make a straight angle. Okay? So I know that that's 90 minus 40. Guys, the measure, I usually use the M symbol, measure of angle 7 equals 50 degrees. Okay? That's what you guys are going to be doing for your homework. All right, last problem. Let's get through this in 3 minutes. All right. Refer to the figure at the right or below. Line A is parallel to line B, and measure of angle 2 is 135 degrees. So everybody find angle 2. Oh, guys, that little M in front of the angle symbol means measure. Measure of angle 2. Okay? Put 135 degrees there. Okay? There's right angle symbols in here that did not come out well on the copy, so everybody put a right angle symbol there. Angle 10 is 90 degrees, and angle 5 is 90 degrees. You got to be given that. Okay? 5 and 10 are 90 degrees. All right, let's try to figure out find the measure of every angle on this chart. You guys can do it. Okay? That one's 90 degrees. That one's 90 degrees.
One is 40. 7 and 8 one, that's right next to 135.
What else do we know? Ooh, is angle 2 an interior or exterior angle? Angle 2. What's alternate interior with 2? No, that'd be supplementary with it.
9.
What's alternate interior with 2? Okay, it's inside the parallel lines and it's on the opposite side of the transversal. 7.
7.
Okay, so 7 is congruent to 2.
It has to be 135.
So everybody put 135 degrees for 7. We know that those alternate interior angles are congruent. Now, the lines look for straight angles, which means they either add up to $1.80 or they're supplementary. What's that measure of angle 8?
Are both 180.
180.
Angle 8 is not 180 degrees, guys. Start thinking. It'd be 180 minus 135. Okay? Which is that 45 degrees? Angle 8 is 45 degrees. By the same token, angle 1 is going to be 45 degrees. Okay? 3 going to be 45 degrees. Adds up to $1.80. 3 and 6 are vertical. That's going to be 45 degrees. We know that that's 90. I think angle 4, 45 degrees. And angle 9 is going to be 45 degrees.
Yes, I knew that too.
Notice everything, straight lines are always going to add up to $1.80. Remember how many angles you guys have. All right, guys, if you're in the movie club downstairs, real quick.
Movie club, real quick. Movie club. Movie club.
No, we can do this, maybe.
Hey Jack, can you share us?
I can invite.
Okay,
All right.
Scott.